Good afternoon, PHL 215 students. This is Professor Campbell speaking, and I wanted to have at least a little opportunity to have some FaceTime with all of you. I know we don't actually get to meet face-to-face in the classroom, but this is the next best thing by YouTube. So I want to take just a few minutes, since we're starting the third week of the course, to just share with you some of my thoughts, some of the expectations that I have, and maybe some of the things you're already beginning to realize about this course. First of all, let me tell you that you have my admiration. I've been teaching online students for 10 years, and you are a courageous group, and my hat is off to you, and I'm your biggest defender. When people tell me, and sometimes I hear this from time to time, that online distance education is easier than in-seat education, I take great issue with that. And I realize that a lot of what we ask of you is much more difficult than what's on the in-seat variety of this, or the hybrid classroom. So I appreciate the kind of sacrifice it takes to do what you do, the kind of diligence and self-discipline that's needed in order to do a course like this. So like I said, I have great admiration for each one of you, and I'm glad to be in class with you. Now let me just say that I've said at the beginning of the class, and I know some of you are already beginning to experience this, because we are online, we don't have some of the same opportunities we do in the classroom, and therefore a little bit more is expected of you. For example, in these discussions in the classroom, obviously there is not a requirement to have references to the reading and that sort of thing, but we do that here because this is one of the ways in which I'm able to integrate the reading, and I can hear how you're internalizing some of the things that we're reading when we go through our discussion. So that's really the purpose behind that. So I realize it's a little bit harder for some of you. What I also want to say regarding our discussions, and so far it's been wonderful, is I expect that each one of us will treat one another with honor and respect. Even though this is a Christian university, I can tell you from my years of experience, not everyone who attends CCU is a Christian. And it is not a requirement to be a Christian or to share my beliefs or any other beliefs of the university in order to do well in my classes. What I do ask is that there's integrity, that we honor and respect one another as we're engaging in discussion and dialogue, and that we're able to allow people to come to their own conclusions. What I do expect is that you will support what you say with good, solid reasons and foundations. I ask that you use the scriptures, but if if the scriptures are not part of what you're normally used to, I know it'll be a stretch for some of you. That doesn't mean that you have to believe the Bible is the Word of God, but I do ask that we respect one another as we go through the class and use the resources that are part of this class. I also would like to say that I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you better, and I appreciate the kind of depth of what you've already shared with me in terms of your background, some of the things that you've been through, and it breaks my heart in many cases to hear some of the trauma that you've endured, but it also gives me great hope in the elasticity, I guess, or the resilience, as we saw in some of the early assessments that many of you have. To me, it's a testimony of God's grace in your life. And so I want to continue to bless you and say that I know you're here by divine appointment, and I want to encourage you to keep pressing on as we continue through the course. Because as we go into the middle section of the course, right now we're going to go into some of the deeper details of worldviews, but in just a few weeks, we're going to be talking about vocation, or your calling from God. And to me, that's the heart of what this course is about. And my hope is that I will be able to coach each one of you to the point where you have at least a little bit more clarity, a little more sense of where God is calling you and who God has called you to be. So enough from me right now. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I look forward to continuing our journey together. And again, if ever a question comes up or an issue, use, as you have been doing, the student lounge, or send me an email, because I do pray for you, and I will continue to pray for you throughout this course. So God bless you, and I look forward to continuing on.